So with that in mind, I just want to share with you the way Giselle's ears understand it and heard it, because you're going to hear it from him, and that way you will know, no, Giselle was wrong, but that's what Ryan said, but that way it will set the understanding for you to discern for yourself. Okay? So, about 3.5 years ago, the company was going through what we know today, adapting to the new world. Rich Wood became the CEO, Ryan Napierski became the president, Mark Lawrence became the CFO, and Velocity was under development. And John Sexsmith, whom, if he was here standing next to me today, he would say, the wealth is in the depth. And would repeat it, and it was what got him to understand that day when he was presented for the first time with the possibility of an opportunity for the Sexsmith family. He saw the wealth is in the depth by the combination of people and volume doubling. The duplication effect of compounding volume and people is the end result. Freedom! He understood that, and he went to get it. He believed it. He always said, nobody could outwork him. But I don't know, Anton and I were discussing that, and we thought that Lars maybe can outwork him. So, when Velocity came about, what John Sexsmith loved about it was that all of a sudden there was going to be not only a modernization of the company, but an emphasis back on volume and on the wealth is in the depth. But that day that we were sitting there, Ryan Napierski said to John, I'm going to give you a book. It's a book that is going to be all over the management here in the 9th floor, and it's called The Platform Revolution. The Platform Revolution, from Giselle's understanding, is a book that was written by 3 economists. And these people decided to make a study of how the stock market had been hijacked by companies that nobody expected that was going to happen. How on earth did Amazon become one of the first companies in the stock market? How on earth does Facebook and Google take over the stock market when nobody predicted it? And those 3 authors went to make a study of this. And in the book, the way I heard it, John read it to me, because I will be honest, I have never read the book. I have only listened John reading the book to me. And then after John was not reading it to me, then I went to YouTube, and I have been following the authors around the world, doing his speeches around the world. And that's how I learned the Platform Revolution. And in their study, they found something remarkable, in my opinion. So they found that Google, Amazon, Facebook, and several other companies that they talk about had something in common. One of the things they had in common was that when the people at Amazon sat down to plan opening a company, Amazon did not have a vision of becoming the retailer master of the universe of the world. They didn't come with that intention. How many of you remember that when Amazon started, all it was an online bookstore? all they wanted to do was sell books online. Facebook had the same thing in common. They never sat down with the vision and the plan to take over the social media platforms of the world and be the number one. They didn't plan that. Those kids, you know what they wanted to be? They wanted to be a college yearbook online. That's all they wanted to be. Google had something in common as well, because all Google wanted to be was not the world search engine and occupy the number 2, 3 spot in the stock market. All Google wanted to be was a dictionary or an encyclopedia online. And these 3 authors went to find out how these companies had several things in common. And how on earth did they get to where they are today? And then boom, they explain what we all have lived through, the digital revolution that John Sexsmith kept for the last 20 years talking about. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It's going to be bigger than the Industrial Revolution. Take advantage, place yourself, find 12 people. John kept saying that. And John kept saying, I mean, I can go back and listen to him, and there's recordings of him saying, oh, the world is going to change this way. And today I wake up in the morning and I go like, well, it already happened. So the digital revolution happened, and what these authors explain in a way is that these particular 3 companies, Amazon, Facebook, and Google, what they had was that they had a platform, an architecture of a technological platform that, almost like a perfect storm, allowed each one of the companies to be moved to the forefront of the stock market and become a mega giant in the world. All of a sudden, Facebook not only connected university kids, but it connected family members from around the world. And today, I don't even know the number of how many Facebook users, but it was the platform that was there that allowed it to become that. Amazon had the platform to allow that company to become the number 1 retailer of the world, because it was like a perfect storm. Google had the platform. Therefore, the title of the book is The Platform Revolution. Now I ask myself, why did Ryan Napierski give that book to John Sexsmith? What does that have to do with Nu Skin? In the book, and you've heard this before, John was a fan of highlighting the company Kodak as a product company. Kodak dominated, and in the book they mention it as well. So as part of explaining how the platform revolution took place, they highlight and they say, what companies were replaced by these platform companies? The companies that were replaced were product companies. And therefore they go on to explain in the book how product companies have the danger of becoming dinosaurs if they don't adapt to the changes that the digital revolution brought on to us. And that the possibility of companies competing with the existing ones are companies that are going to be platform companies. So that architecture of that platform has to be there. And when you observe what has happened in the last 28, 30 months within the infrastructure of Nu Skin Enterprises, or I like to call it NUS because that's the public symbol. In NUS, all of a sudden what has happened is that when Rich Wood became the CEO and Ryan Napierski became the president, now we needed a new CFO, a Chief Financial Officer. And the person that took that post, his name is Mark Lawrence. You'll get to meet him. But the very first time I ever heard Mark Lawrence speak was when we were all together here. The last October, November. And he stood right here, right? In the stage. And what did he tell us? I just couldn't believe my ears. Actually, I was shrinking back there going like, oh, don't say that. Now, in Giselle's ears, you can correct me. You were here. If Mark didn't say that, fix me up. Keep me honest. But what I remember Mark saying was that Rich Wood had taken a step, and it was going to be a bold step into doing something that none of the previous CEOs had done. And Mark Lawrence, coming from Amazon, that's his background. He used to be, and I don't know all the details, but he'll tell you today. And he's fabulous explaining why he left Amazon and came to NewSkip with the vision that he has of what's going to happen here. I got so excited, I get goosebumps. But Mark stood here in the stage and he said that he was going to apologize for the previous management because they were trying to fix a foundation that could not be fixed. Didn't he say that? Thank you. And they were like, really? And he said, previously, technologically wise, platform wise, I am 33 years with this company. I'm going to tell you, this company is a dynamic, unbelievable company. I've got my checks on time. They cleared the bank. I have had an amazing business world. If they make it better, it's going to be unbelievable. So when he said that the new CEO, Rich Wood, had taken the bold statement of saying, you know what, the foundation we're building on is not a good foundation. The example I remember Mark using was that of saying, imagine you bought this beautiful home that was quite a showcase, but it was on a failing foundation. And you tried to put a new roof on it. And the minute you put that beautiful new roof, all of a sudden the back wall collapsed. Did you say that? And then you were putting columns in the back wall